All right. Well, moving on.
All right.
That was a good one, though.
Right.
As you know, we talked a little bit about this last week, about the whole Confederate flag thing.
Yes.
And the disgusting thing is that TV land is bowing to political pressure and removing the Dukes of Hazzard from TV, from
right.
the reruns.
Thank God, man. It's about time they got there. I've been complaining about that racist show for, well, never.
Yeah. So Dukes of Hazzard aired originally in the late 70s into the early 80s.
Right.
Which is basically 30 years ago.
Sure.
And it's been run on rerun, for the last 3 decades.
Right.
And now, all of a sudden, it's a problem.
Well, dude, you remember how racist that show was.
Exactly.
I mean, don't you remember?
Something about running moonshine and looking at Daisy Duke and her cut-off shorts and,
you don't, dude,
subverting
you obviously
the law.
Remember it wrong.
Yeah.
I remember Uncle Jesse being on the CB radio and telling Bo and Luke, hey, run into town and run over them there niggers.
Right.
Kill yourself some niggers on the way back.
Sure.
Go get that moonshine and kill some niggers while you're at it.
Right.
Isn't that what the dialogue to that show was?
No.
No, that's not what it was?
No.
Really? I would have assumed with all the outcry. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I ever watched the Dukes of Hazzard.
Really?
I don't know what the show is even about.
Well, it's about Bo and Luke Duke.
Yeah, I know that.
They were just rabble rousers in Hazard, Kentucky.
And they had an uncle named Jesse, right?
Yeah, Uncle Jesse. He was the patriarch of the family.
And the only reason I know that is because he had the same name as the Full House guy.
Right. And they basically were always being chased by the local sheriff, who was a buffoon.
Okay. So it was sort of like a high-stakes Andy Griffith.
Yeah, basically, yeah. It was Roscoe P. Coltrane and Cletus and, all the typical Southern down-home names. And
yeah, they were all Barney Fife.
Yeah, they were moonshiners is what they were.
All right. So, yeah, it was Mayberry.
Yeah.
Just updated.
More or less.
All right.
And they would jump the car, and they had the General Lee, because they were in the South, and General Lee, the Confederate general.
Right, and they had the chick with her ass hanging out.
Yeah, that was their cousin.
Okay.
Daisy Duke, which is where the Daisy Duke shorts came from.
Right.
Wearing my Daisy Dukes.
Yeah.
And it was just a kind of a lighthearted, kind of a fun show about the days of Prohibition, when they had the moonshiners and they were being chased by the law, or if you watched the Beverly Hillbillies,
right? Okay,
the revenuers,
okay,
were always chasing them,
right? Okay,
and that's all it was about. Period.
No black people.
It wasn't about black people or hating on the niggers or anything else.
Oh, no?
It was just about these two cousins who were being, outlawish.
Well, I would have swore it had to be about hating on the niggers, because with the uproar last week, I would have assumed every single episode they were burning crosses in people's yards and lynching.
Sure.
The uproar was ridiculous with that.
I know. But it had nothing to do with that. It's just because the Confederate flag was painted on the roof of the car.
Yeah. Well, no difference between that and Hogan's Heroes, right?
Right.
That happens to still be running on TV land.
So Bubba Watson, the golfer, purchased the actual General Lee that was used in the television show.
Okay.
And he has, quote unquote, vowed to paint the Confederate flag on the roof of the car over.
Well, it's his car, I guess.
It is his car. He paid $100,000 for it at auction.
Okay.
I would never do it.
No, I wouldn't either.
Because that was an iconic pop culture car, and now you're going to destroy it due to political correctness pressure?
Well, does Bubba have sponsors?
Of course he does. We know when there's money involved. That's where the decisions are made.
Yeah. So basically, he probably is just like, who gives a shit? But his people told him, dude, this is going to cost you your Nike sponsorship or your Titleist sponsorship or whatever.
That's exactly what it boils down to.
Yeah. And Bubba Watson, isn't he like 130 years old at this point?
I don't think so, but
he's not an older guy?
No, I think he's probably my age.
I mean, as far as golf goes.
He's probably been around 30 years.
Let's see. Bubba Watson. How old are you, Bubba Watson? Oh, he's not very old at all. He's younger. All right, never mind.
Yeah, but
he's born in 78.
Okay, so he's a young guy.
He's 36.
Yeah, all right. So he was born when the Dukes of Hazzard came out.
Yeah, so he has no association with the show at all.
Right. But he owns the actual car from the TV show.
Right.
So he's going to paint that Confederate flag over on the car. But
doesn't he still own the car?
He has the car, yes.
So wouldn't just owning the car still be like, owning a slave?
I guess you could interpret it like that.
I mean, if you put a slave in a fucking tuxedo, he's still a slave.
Right.
So I think he should destroy the car.
Yeah, he probably needs to burn the car.
I think he should have it crushed. Crushed and melted down and formulated into a sign of a rainbow.
Right.
That's what he should do.
Sure. Well, he's gonna replace the painted Confederate flag on the roof of the General Lee and put just a typical American flag up there.
Oh, what a good guy.
Wonder
which one of his people decided that was the right answer.
Yeah, I would have never destroyed that car like that.
I never would have either. Now it's worthless.
Yeah. It's like now it's no longer the General Lee.
No, it's the fucking
It means nothing now. It's not the General Lee anymore.
Yeah, and you can't even replace it later. He had the original paint.
Yeah.
What a douchebag.
I know. It's just stupid.
Yeah, he is a fucking knob.
Would have never done that.
No.
So anyway, apparently Six Flags over Georgia.
Yes.
Being in Georgia, I guess because it's the 4th of July holiday.
Right.
Everybody is all of a sudden, because of political correctness, is anti-Confederate flag, and Six Flags over Georgia still flies the Confederate flag because that's kind of what they built their reputation on.
Bastards. Fucking, they should be boycotted at all costs.
Well, wait a minute. You hit the nail on the head.
Oh, good.
You hit the nail on the head. Somehow, some way, the boycott for this holiday weekend, people just did not adhere to it, and they had a record crowds.
There was a boycott for this weekend?
Yes.
Pathetic. Don't they realize that the people that would boycott could never afford a ticket anyway?
But here's the funny part is that people go, you know what? I'm going there to have fun. Who gives a shit about the Confederate flag?
Fuck you and your flag.
Yeah. Go ahead and fly that thing all day.
All right. You know what? I'm going to plead ignorance to this because I really have not paid attention because I find this story to be so fucking stupid.
It is stupid.
Who is actually offended? Just black people?
Well, you know what? There have been numerous polls out this week.
Yeah.
And they've come to find that a majority of people, black and white, don't give two shits about the Confederate flag one way or the other.
Yeah, because I mean, I've had a couple of, I only judge by my Facebook feed.
Sure you do.
And I've only had like 2 or 3 people, and it's the typical ones, the fucking way left-leaning people.
Right.
That have been like, oh, it's good to see this symbol of hate fucking removed.
Symbol of hate.
The symbol of hate.
Well, I did like that. I did like that one meme that you had on your Facebook that had the pictures of the pyramids.
Oh yeah.
It's like, when are they going to tear these symbols of slavery down?
Yeah, when are they going to get rid of those?
It's the exact same thing.
It's the same thing, and nobody's going to do that.
Nope.
And then somebody answered back, well, that's not in our country. And I was like, yeah, well, the one in fucking Vegas is.
Yeah. Because that's just a replica. It's a symbol of the same damn thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that one wasn't built by slaves. That was union workers that built
it's
that.
It's a representation of slavery.
Right.
You know? Stupid. If I make a Nazi flag today, that doesn't mean that it doesn't represent what fucking went down in the 40s.
Right.
So stupid. I just don't understand. I mean, and again, my very scientific poll is just looking on Facebook, and it's like 98% of the people are like, this is fucking stupid. This General Lee shit and this Confederate flag. I don't know who is outraged and what are they really outraged for?
They're not.
I mean, did you see the picture of the kid that had the Confederate flag also burning the American flag?
Right.
So obviously it wasn't like he was only racist. He was also anti-United States.
Sure.
You know, but nobody's reporting that. This whole thing is fucking dumb. And I don't get what I don't understand in all this is why don't the corporations understand that their customers don't fucking see it their way? What is it about fucking Walmart and fucking Apple and whatever that they see that makes them think they got to, or Bubba Watson, that makes them think that they've got to take this rash decision to not be associated with the Confederate flag?
Because everybody is afraid of reputation.
But nobody is actually on board with this.
Well, I agree with you, but this goes back to that gal in Pittsburgh who was so upset over the word retard.
Yeah.
And she was putting out this call out there that Chili's supports quote unquote hate speech.
Right.
So if Walmart continued to carry Confederate flags, or, Bubba Watson did not paint over the Confederate flag, well, you must be a KKK member, or you must support, hate speech, or you must support this because you don't get on board with the rest of us who are boycotting that.
Yeah, but the rest of you is a minority.
Yeah, I know, but
a huge minority.
But it's the tail that wags the dog.
Yeah, just pathetic.
That's how it goes these days. It's the tail that wags the dog. This is no different than the whole gay marriage thing. As I said, the Pew Research poll said that only 4% of America identifies as gay.
Right.
4%. But they wagged the entire Supreme Court and the whole country.
Right. It's just fucking sickening.
I agree.
And what's the most sickening, though, is that nobody has the balls to say, you know what, fuck you.
Well, Trump does.
Yeah, Trump does, and now they're trying to railroad him.
And look at the backlash he's getting.
Yeah, and they're just lying. That story I have paid attention to, and they're absolutely lying about what he said. What they're saying he said was about fucking immigrants needing to leave the country. That is not what he said. He said point blank, illegal immigrants need to leave the country.
Right.
What is wrong with saying that something illegal needs to be dealt with? Why is that a fucking crime? Why is that wrong?
Because you're not being compassionate, and
Why do I need to be compassionate if a guy fucking comes out? Did you see the story about the girl that fucking was on the phone with her dad and got shot and murdered?
Yeah, out in San Francisco. But also in the same time frame, a camera crew was out there filming a story, and they got jacked and robbed of their cameras and their equipment, and they never mentioned who did it, what the race of the people were who did it. And so on and so forth. They just glossed over that like it never happened.
It's ridiculous. And the girl that got murdered by an illegal immigrant who had been tossed out of the country 5 different times.
And then they said that they had no reason to hold him. Yeah.
So they just he'd been arrested 5 times.
Right.
And because he was an illegal, they couldn't hold him.
Right.
So they just let him go, and he went and killed this woman.
Yeah, we don't have any legal basis to hold this guy, so he went out and shot this girl in the head.
Yeah. So is Donald Trump wrong in thinking that motherfucking piece of shit shouldn't be thrown out of this country?
Absolutely not.
This motherfucker should be dragged by a back of a truck across the ground until his body shreds apart.
Right.
That's what should happen to that fucking guy.
Sure.
But instead, Donald Trump says exactly that this fucking guy should be tossed out of here. And what does he get for it? He gets, he's racist. He's a bigot.
Right.
He hates the Spanish. He hates Mexicans.
Right.
Fuck off, you fucking pussies.
Well, that's the same adversity that our guy, Jim Trafficant, went up against.
Yeah, and they killed him. I mean, he died unexpectedly.
Well, he got railroaded out of Congress.
Yeah, and then run over by a tractor.
Went to jail.
Right.
And then got killed strangely by a tractor turning over on him.
Yeah, how about that? That happens all the time.
Yeah. And this guy, quote unquote, identified as a Democrat, even though he ran as a independent.
Right.
But but there is plenty of audio out there where he was just talking about illegal immigration and these people need to be thrown out and, all these things. And they were just like, well, wait a minute. We can't have you talking like that.
Right.
It's like, that's the truth, fellas.
Yep.
And they're just like, fuck that guy. We need to gin up some kind of reason to get him out of Congress. He's embarrassing us.
Yeah, I know. Run him over with a tractor.
Exactly. I like that guy. I don't care what anybody thought of him. I liked him.
Yeah, I thought he was good.
Yeah. And I'm proud to say that I got to talk to him for 5 minutes one day.
Yeah, and we talked to him in email a bunch.
Yeah.
Trying to get him on the show.
Tried.
To get it done.
Really tried.
We tried hard on that one. We worked very hard on that.
Yeah, I like that guy.
I did too.
I was sad when I heard about what happened to him.
Yeah. Do you believe it?
No.
You believe the government whacked him?
I know something strange happened.
And does he know Hillary? Just asking. I mean, I might have.
Hillary, you mean?
Maybe we should add him to the list.
Yeah.
If they knew each other.
Sure. Well, getting back to the discussion about this Confederate flag nonsense.
Yeah.
I was telling you about everybody's trying to gin up this hatred or this we got to boycott this flag, but this weekend with being a holiday and people going and doing fun stuff with the family and whatnot.
Right.
The July 4th crowd ignores the call to boycott Georgia Park over the Confederate flag.
Good.
They're not going to go, you know what? I'm not going to let this ruin my weekend.
Yeah.
So that just goes to show you, people don't give two shits.
Yeah. So maybe they could put back on the Dukes of Hazzard in Georgia.
Right.
Because those people obviously get it.
Yeah. 4th of July holiday makers ignored a call to boycott Georgia's Stone Mountain Park, known as the Confederate Rushmore.
Right.
Over the display of the contiguous Confederate flag.
Uh-huh.
Hundreds of people had staked out spots at the 3,200-acre privately run park by noon on Saturday for nighttime laser and fireworks show.
Right.
They're just like, you're still flying that flag? Fuck you. I'm not going to that fireworks show.
That's right.
Screw you, pal.
That's right.
They shrugged off the heavy rain on the park's busiest day of the year as well as the boycott. So they still went out there whether it was inclement weather or not.
Yeah.
Flag or no flag, I made my plans. I'm going.
Damn straight.
Democratic State Representatives LaDawn Blackett. LaDawn Blackett.
That guy should be fucking running all of the NAACP.
Are you sure that's a guy? LaDawn?
LaDawn Blackett?
Yeah, L-A, capital L, small a, capital D-A-W-N. LaDawn.
Yeah, I'm thinking white guy.
I'm thinking black woman.
No, come on.
LaDawn?
LaDawn?
LaDawn Blackett Jones.
LaDawn Blackett Jones should be fucking replacing Al Sharpton as the head of all things black. The name is LaDawn Blackett.
Blackett. Blackett.
Not Blacker. Blackett.
Blackett.
Like, black it all out, baby.
Paint it black.
Black it out.
LaDawn Blackett Jones this week urged people to stay away from the park.
Yeah, well, clearly people didn't really hear what LaDawn Blackett was saying.
Exactly. 10 miles east of Atlanta because it flies 3 flags of the pro-slavery Confederacy along with the U.S. and Georgia state flag.
Here's a message for, does this LaDawn Blackett live in fucking Georgia?
It says that
probably
the state representative.
All right, so she's associated with the state of Georgia.
Correct.
All right, answer me a couple questions if you know the answers, okay?
Uh-huh.
Do they not still in Georgia have actual plantations where slavery was held?
No.
Yes, they do.
Do they?
Not being held.
Oh,
now,
you mean like a tourist place?
Yes.
Yeah. They have tourism there.
And
yes.
they're actual plantations.
Correct.
So, have you ever been to Atlanta?
I have been many times. Okay.
Is every other street not named like Plantation Boulevard?
Well, and after various Confederate generals and things like that.
General Lee Boulevard.
Yeah, they do. But they're also talking about changing that now.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, they're talking about renaming these streets now.
What should we rename them?
President Lincoln Way.
George Washington Carver Boulevard.
Jesse Jackson Boulevard.
Right, exactly. Jim Thorpe Way. Got to go for all the fucking great black men.
Right.
Did we name them all? LeBron James Court.
Michael Jordan Boulevard.
Right. Trying to think of some other great ones.
Right.
Reggie Jackson Street.
Right.
Who else is there?
Sure.
Look at Obama Deniggity Avenue. What? No, Val, that can't be. That's well, I guess since Obama could say nigger, we can reference it.
Right. Willie Stargell Boulevard.
Yeah, Willie Stargell. Dave Parker Trail.
You're making light of this story.
Oh, am I? I'm sorry.
Oh, well, look at Nathan. I told you it was a black gal.
Yeah, is that her?
Yeah, LaDawn Blackett.
Hey, there's LaDawn Blackett.
Yeah.
Look at her. She's got like a 26 waist and about a 50 hips.
Yeah.
Look at the way that fucking iceberg's out. Holy shit.
All right, so she's like saying, stay away. Stay away.
I guess I can't say iceberg because she probably can't swim.
Right. So she's.
What are you laughing about? Her arms are crossed. It doesn't look like she'd know how to swim.
Right.
What are you thinking?
Something
racist?
So she's like saying, stay away. Stay away from the Georgia park over there.
Right.
Because they support they're pro-slavery over there.
Nathan, I'm gonna guess that she probably does not braid her pussy hair.
Right.
I don't know where you get your information, but I'm not gonna say that that's accurate. All right, continue.
Well, Bobby Smith of Fitzgerald, Georgia, agrees with you.
Okay.
Bobby Smith of Fitzgerald, Georgia, who was camping at Stone Mountain with her family.
Yes. Bobby's a girl, too?
Bobby Smith, her.
All right.
Bobbie.
Okay.
Smith, she's camping with her family at Stone Mountain, called the boycott just stupid. The whole park is a Confederate memorial. If you don't have the flag here, where on earth would you put it, she said.
Yeah.
Yeah, pal.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, LaDawn.
Yeah, get it through your thick hips there, LaDawn.
Yeah, you're not going to black this out.
The Confederate flag from the 1861 to 1865 U.S. Civil War has become a lightning rod for outrage.
On Facebook.
After the shooting of 9 black churchgoers in Charleston, South Carolina last month.
Yeah.
The white suspect, isn't that amazing? They threw in there, they didn't just say the suspect.
Why is he a white suspect?
He's a white suspect.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
Dylan Roof had posed for photos with the Confederate battle flag.
Yeah. And in a Gold's Gym shirt, and with a burning American flag, and with a fucking Timex watch, and, and in a backyard with a pool.
Yeah.
So all those things should be banned.
Sure. I'm never going to Gold's Gym again.
Andy was wearing shoes at the time of the murder. So shoes should obviously be outlawed.
I'm never wearing Nike again.
Never. No shoes.
They're Confederate.
Yeah, they are.
They're racist.
It's a sign of white oppression, wearing shoes.
Yeah.
I saw fucking Roots. Kunta Kinte, they cut his fucking foot off. I bet there was no shoe on that foot.
Right.
So obviously that kid wearing shoes was a sign against the black man.
Sure.
I
think that if 90s grunge bands were still popular today,
yes,
I would probably try to approach one of the most popular ones out there and see if they could.
What the fuck?
If they would write a song just called Racist Shoes. Racist Shoes.
Racist shoes.
Yeah. Politicians in several southern states have called for removal of the flag and other Confederate memorials from public spaces.
Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah. A raft of major retailers have said they would pull items with the Confederate flag on them.
Right.
Ray Simpkins of Kennesaw, Georgia, who brought his children to see the laser show, said the flag remains a reminder of the Confederacy's advocacy of slavery.
Does it?
Really?
Does it really? So if I listen to Leonard Skinner, it's because I want to fucking enslave black people?
Right.
Is that how that works?
Yep.
If I have a Dimebag Razorback guitar with a fucking Confederate flag on it, it's because I want to fucking kill the nigs? Is that what?
Well, Pantera is pretty much racist.
Are they?
Anybody who screams that loud and has that much kind of pent-up anger
is racist?
Racist.
Okay.
They got to be.
I wasn't aware.
Although I don't...
Look at... Oh, my God. Oh, my God. All right, a new fucking benchmark has been set.
All right.
The bar has been raised.
Sure.
On the most racist thing ever thrown in this chat room.
Yep.
AOR Rocks, you've officially established the top of the line for racism.
All I can think of is Bret Michaels. You know you want it.
Oh, my God.
You know you...
I got to say, that's offensive even by my standards. I don't have very much standards of offensiveness.
Sure.
That's fairly offensive.
Right.
My goodness.
Yep. And if you're not in the chat room, shame on you.
Hey, I won't be moving this one to Facebook. That's for damn sure.
Exactly.
That will get up my page and every other page I have banned. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Although I don't love it, I think there's a place for it here, says Simpkins, who is black.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't fly next to the U.S. flag.
What?
So he says that going to the Georgia Park,
yeah,
where it has a place, Stone Mountain,
yeah,
it has a place there, that it's okay to fly it there because it is a memorial to the Confederacy.
Okay.
Just don't fly it next to the U.S. flag.
So what flag would it be okay if it flies next to?
It needs to stand out there on its own.
Is it okay with the gay flag?
No.
No, why?
Because it's definitely a gay hating flag.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, when the wind kicks up, it would be over there whipping at it.
Oh.
Like whipping at a slave.
Right? Is that how that works?
Yeah, you could see it. You could just imagine as soon as that wind just catches, the flag catches the wind, it starts smacking at the gay flag, just whipping at it like a slave being whipped.
How about that?
It's how I imagine it.
Yeah, well, hey, everybody's got their own interpretation.
Right.
I'm interested in yours.
The park is on state land and run by the Stone Mountain Memorial Association spokesman John Bankhead said.
Yeah.
People on both sides of the issue say if the flag belongs in the museum, here in Georgia, the Stone Mountain Park serves as that.
Okay.
It's a memorial.
Yeah.
That's what memorials are, that they represent.
Right.
The park is known as the Confederate Mount Rushmore for its 90-foot tall, 27-meter tall relief sculpture of 3 Confederate figures. That is President Jefferson Davis and Generals Robert E. Lee and Thomas Stonewall Jackson.
Right.
They're all Confederates.
Right.
Wouldn't the flag be a good companion for these 3 guys?
Apparently not.
The park described it as the largest high relief sculpture in the world.
All right, the bar just jumped up a little higher.
The mountain is also infamous for the founding spot of the 20th century version of the Ku Klux Klan, a white supremacist group.
Right.
All right. So there you go. Controversy on all angles.
I missed the whole last part of that on that last photo. My God. And the pulling the ears is the funniest part.
It's so funny.
The fuck?
So, again, with the whole Confederate thing, it's hard to take your eyes off that chat room, isn't it? You look
unfucking believable. AOR Rocks has got to be the Grand Dragon of the Klan.
Yeah, well, he is from Florida.
He's the Klan's chief of IT or something. My God. That one just ain't even right.
Isn't it funny that even though the face is obscured by 3/4, you still can tell who it is?
Pretty good idea.
That is absolutely amazing.
That is just horrendous. The best possible way.
He's got the crisscross hair going on.
Holy smokes.
Holy cow.
Everything about that. I think he's raised the bar 3 times in 5 minutes. We had a standard that it was the kid with the fucking necklace and the watermelon and everything was the standard.
Sure.
That was the standard of race-hating excellence.
Right.
And boy, has AOR Rocks.
What I find amazing, like I said, if you don't join us in the chat rooms on Saturday night during the live show and you hear us laughing on the podcast, you have no context at all.
Because we can't even explain it.
I know. It's just... Oh.
We don't want to be classified as racists, and finding this stuff funny would.
Just, wow.
What a family portrait.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Yep.
Unfucking believable.
Sure.
Oh, my God.